Okay, hello math fans. Alright, so today's topic is going to be dividing polynomials. Okay, this is a very exciting topic. It's the first part is actually really easy, and this is dividing by a monomial. Okay? So this is what it's going to look like. I'll give you something like 6x to the fourth minus 12x cubed plus 9x squared minus 15x plus 21. That's kind of extreme, but that's okay. Divided by 6x squared. So this is the deal, and you've got to remember this. And I'm going to put this in red here. It's divided by a monomial only. So we're going to have something different when it's divided by a binomial. But for a monomial, that's what you need to remember. So it's very simple. Basically what you do is each one of these terms, 6x to the fourth, gets divided by 6x squared. Minus 12x cubed over 6x squared plus 9x squared over 6x squared minus 15x over 6x squared plus 21 over 6x squared. That's all you do. And then you got to simplify each one of the terms. Okay? So the first one, the 6's cancel. I do battle. I get x squared. That's a 2 and a 1. So it's minus 2. I do battle. I get x. This one is a 3. It goes in 3. 3 goes in 9 3 times. 3 goes in the 6 twice. The x's cancel out, and I just get plus 3 halves. This one, 3 goes into 15 5 times. 3 goes in 6 twice. The south wins by 1. So it's 5 over 2x. This one, 3 goes into 21 7 times. 3 goes into 6 twice. There's nothing on except for the bottom, so it's plus 7 over 2x squared. That is your answer. Okay? So that's all you do. Divide each one of those terms by that 6x squared. But again, only when this is a monomial are you going to do that. Okay? Lots of arrows. Very friendly. Alright, so this next part is where it's more challenging. And you guys learned long division, and you're like, oh no, long division. But it really isn't that bad. So this is going to be dividing by a binomial. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys some steps first, and then we're going to use these steps to go through a problem. So I'm going to try and write, in fact, I'm going to erase this topic right here, but it's dividing by a binomial. All right, so let me erase that. Okay, so let's do a problem, and as we're doing the problem, we're going to write down the steps. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see x plus 1 divided into 3x cubed plus 8x squared plus 3x minus 2. Okay? So it's long division. So I'm going to write the steps on the side here. This is the question you're going to ask. So you're going to look, you're looking only at the first terms. Look only at the first terms. So the thing you're going to ask, so here, I'm going to write this, ask what times x, and this is what I'm talking about, what times x equals the first term, 3x cubed. Okay, that's your first step. And then the answer to this is you say, well, that's a cubed here. So you can see that. What times x is 3x cubed? Don't you guys agree? Here's your answer. Don't you guys agree it's 3x squared? Okay, what times x equals 3x cubed? It's 3x squared. So that's the answer. So what you're going to do is you're going to write here on top 3x squared. Okay, does that make sense? That, I don't want to draw a line over there, it's going to mess it up. But here it is. It's 3x squared right there on top. And then what you're going to do is you will write 3x squared. So this is really your second step. 3x squared times x plus 1. Okay, that's this term right here. So if I multiply that out, I get 3x cubed. It's distributing. 3x cubed plus 3x squared. Everybody agree with that? Okay, so what I'm going to do with that now is I'm going to take that, I'm going to write it underneath here. 3x cubed plus 3x squared. Okay, so here, so you're going to write, I'm going to put it in as your steps, write under the problem. And the third step is you're going to change the signs of 3x cubed plus 3x squared. Changing the signs is going to give you negative 3x cubed minus 3x squared. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to change the signs. So I'm going to even do this in red. That's negative and that's negative. I didn't say make them negative. I said change the sign, because sometimes if it's negative, you're going to make it positive. All right? So that's the third step. The fourth step is you're going to add and subtract going down. So I'm going to draw a line underneath here, and I'm going to say 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels. That's important, guys. If this doesn't cancel, if these guys don't cancel that we just wrote there, if that doesn't work, you didn't pick the right value. That's the deal. It has to cancel. So you're going to add and subtract down, and it must cancel. Okay? And then 8x squared minus 3x squared is 5x squared. And the fifth term, or the fifth step, sorry, is bring down the next term. Bring down the next term. And then after, so what I'm going to do is set 3x plus 3x. And once you're done with that, you're going to back to the first step. Okay? And I know it looks brutal in the beginning, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm dropping this class. This is way too hard. It's horrible. I don't know what I'm doing. But after a while, it gets really easy to do. Okay? So let's go back to the first step and just kind of do some more of this now. Okay, look at the first term. Ask, what times x is 3x cubed? Well, now you're going to say, what times x is 5x squared? Well, don't you guys agree that that answer for that one is 5x? Isn't 5x times x 5x squared? So that's what you're going to do. And it's positive 5x. So the work I want to see, I know it's all messier, but I want to see, I'm going to highlight this. So you can use the highlighter function here. Okay, what I want to see is this work right here. Okay, I want to see that. So here is what I'm going to see. So it's going to be 5x times x plus 1. Okay, and you notice it's x plus 1 here. Well, it's because it's x plus 1 right there. So 5x plus 1, and that's going to give you 5x squared plus 5x. Okay, that in yellow has to be on for every problem. If it's not there and you just have answers there, you're not going to get full credit for the problem. I have to see that work. Okay, and the reason I'm forcing you to see that work is because you're more of a guarantee that you're going to get it right. All right, anyway, that was step number 2. I need to write under the problem 5x squared plus 5x. Step number 3, change the signs of that term. So here it is, negative, and negative. Okay, now step number 4, add and subtract going down. That cancels, which it should. 3x minus 5x is negative 2x. And bring down the next term, minus 2. Okay, the question, what times x, so we're going back to step number 1, what times x is negative 2x? Well, isn't it negative 2? So it's negative 2 up there, so negative 2 here times x plus 1. That gives me negative 2x minus 2. So negative 2x minus 2. Change the sign, plus, plus, and that gives you a 0 there. So that's important. By that being a 0 remainder, that means my final answer is 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Okay, so that is your final answer, math fans. 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. And that's because we have a 0 remainder here. Okay, if we didn't have a 0 remainder, I'll show you how to do that in a second. You will just write something a little bit different. But those are the steps. You've got to have those on your paper when we're doing these problems. It's really important. So let us do a completely different problem now. If I said, and let me write it a different way, because I want you guys to understand it too. 4x cubed minus 14x squared plus 18x minus 10 divided by 2x minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to write that as 2x minus 3 divided into 4x cubed minus 14x squared plus 18x minus 10. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do, what times 2x is 4x cubed? Okay, and the answer to that is 2x squared. So 2x squared is here. And you multiply that by 2x minus 3. So if I multiply that, I get 4x cubed minus 6x squared. So I write that underneath there, 4x cubed minus 6x squared. What do? Change the signs. This minus becomes plus now. So be careful about that. That cancels. Negative 14x squared plus 6x squared is negative 8x squared. Bring down the next term. What times 2x is negative 8x squared? It's negative 4x. Okay, so you guys, you should have, in fact, I've had people do this in the past, make a workbox. Okay, to have all your work in there for each problem. So I get negative 8x squared plus 12x. So it is negative 8x squared plus 12x. Change the sign. That cancels. I get 6x. Bring down the next term. What times 2x is 6x? 3. So 3 times 2x minus 3. That gives you 6x minus 9. Or 6x squared minus, no, what am I writing here? 6x minus 9. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. See how we got this negative 4x? Okay, that negative 4x goes here, minus 4x. And then that 3 goes here. Totally forgot about that. Don't forget to put that. It's part of your answer. All right, anyway, I'm going to write 6x minus 9 underneath there. Change the sign. That cancels. And I get negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1. Now, math fans, I don't have a remainder of 0. I have a remainder of negative 1. This is how you deal with remainders. That remainder goes on top here, but you don't write remainder 1. You write minus 1 over, that's the minus 1 right there, math fans, minus 1. So the negative comes from there, that's the negative, and that's 1, and this is the deal. See that 2x minus 3? That goes there. 2x minus 3. And that's your answer. 2x squared minus 4x plus 3 minus 1 over 2x minus 3. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Now, I want to show you why this is all working, okay, as opposed to a big old mystery. If I give you guys a problem like 2 divided into 1,237. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to say, well, watch this. This is important. You're going to say, as opposed to saying what times 12, what times 2 is 12, you always say 2 goes into 12 how many times? What goes in 6 times? Okay, so what do? The work I said on the side, if I put my work here on the side in this box, don't you say 2 times 6 is 12? And don't you take that 12 and you put it underneath here? And what's your next thing? Don't you change the sign? And it gets 0. And then you bring the 3 down. Okay, so you don't even write down the 0. It cancels, right? And then you say 2 divided into 3. How many times does 2 go into 3? It goes in once. So 2 times 1 is 2. Don't you put a 2 underneath here? Don't you change the sign? And you get 1, and you bring the next term down, 7. So I'm following all the same rules as long division, right? Except now it's just with numbers, just to show you. And then you say 2 goes into 17 how many times? Well, isn't it 8 times? So 2 times 8 is 16. So 16, and you have a remainder 1. Now, isn't it 618? What's remainder 1 mean? Doesn't it mean 618 and a half because it goes in a half time? Well, there you go, guys. There's the 1, and there's the 2. That's how the remainder thing works. All right? So just I wanted to give you guys a general idea how that worked. Okay, so let's try one more problem. It's just a little nastier, but you know we're getting faster with this now. So it's x minus 2 divided into x to the 5th minus 2x to the 4th plus 3x squared, or plus 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. Okay, looks brutal, but again, we're going to go pretty fast through this now. What times x is x to the 5th? X to the 4th. So here's our work. And it's going to be x to the 4th times x minus 2, which is x to the 5th minus 2x to the 4th. So x to the 5th minus 2x to the 4th. Okay. Oops, I wrote it's x to the 5th. So we're going to change the signs. And what's going to happen is that cancels and this cancels. Okay, it's a little bit different. So two things cancel. Well, the only problem is I need 2 terms each time. So I'm going to bring down both terms. So I'm just going to bring down 3x cubed minus 2x squared. I always need 2 terms there, guys. Always need that. Okay, so my next question, what times x is 3x cubed? Well, it's 3x squared. So plus 3x squared. So here on the side, 3x squared times x minus 2. That gives me 3x to the 3rd minus 6x squared. So 3x cubed minus 6x squared. Change the sign. I get 4x squared. Bring down the term, plus 5x. What times x is 4x squared? 4x. So 4x times x minus 2 is 4x squared minus 8x. So 4x squared minus 8x. Change that sign. I get 13x minus 1. Okay, so here I need to put the plus 4x up here. What times x is 13x? Well, just 13. So that gives me 13x minus 26. So 13x minus 26, change the sign, and I get 25. That's my remainder. Okay, and so I got my 4x there, and now this remainder, remember, it's positive 25, so it's plus 25 over x minus 2. And that's your answer. That's a nasty problem, but it's not that much work. Once you get used to it, it's really pretty fast. So x to the fourth plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 25 over x minus 2. Okay? That is not bad. Okay, I got a couple more to do here. And if I give you a problem like x minus 2 divided into x cubed minus 5x plus 3. This is the deal, math fans. I'm missing an x squared term. I need to have a placeholder for every place from the highest exponent. So the highest exponent all the way down to the constant term. Okay, so I need everything from x cubed down to 3. So I need an x cubed, then I need an x squared, I need an x, and I need the 3. So it's important to have every one of those. If I'm missing it, this is what I do. I do x minus 2 divided into x cubed plus 0x squared minus 5x plus 3. Okay, I have a cubed, a squared, and an x and a number. Got to do that. And then it's not bad. Okay, then we just kind of keep going. Now, some of you guys are going, well, why do we need a placeholder? Well, think of it this way. If I said what 5 goes into 1005, aren't those two placeholders? If I didn't have a 0 there for a placeholder, wouldn't it be 5 goes into 15? Well, that's a lot different than 5 goes into 1005. All right, so you need a placeholder for every position, for the ones, tens, hundreds, everything between this one and this one. I need a placeholder. So same thing, everything between x cubed and 3, I need a placeholder. So let me rewrite that now, and let's do that problem. So it's going to be x minus 2 divided into x cubed plus 0x squared minus 5x plus 3. So same rules we're going to follow. What times x is x cubed? Well, that's x squared. So here's my work. And I'm going to have x squared times x minus 2. That gives me x cubed minus 2x squared. So x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay, change the signs. That cancels, and I get 2x squared. And then bring down the next term, minus 5x. What times x is 2x squared? It's 2x. So 2x times x minus 2. That gives me 2x squared. Oop, I'll write here first. 2x squared minus 4x. So minus 4x. So that changes that. That cancels, and I get negative x. Bring the next term down, plus 3. What times x is negative x? Negative 1. So I keep forgetting to write this here. Plus 2x and then minus 1. So negative 1 times x minus 2 gives me negative x plus 2. So negative x plus 2. Change the signs. And that cancels, and you have a remainder of 1. So remember, it's plus 1 over x minus 2. And that's your answer. X squared plus 2x minus 1 plus 1 over x minus 2. All right? One last problem here. X minus 2 divided into x cubed plus 4. All right, so you need to realize I need a placeholder for everything between x cubed and 4. So I'm going to write x minus 2 divided into x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 4. Okay, no big deal. Placeholder for everything. So I get x cubed between x cubed and the constant. Okay, so let's show our work here. What times x is x cubed? It's x squared. So x squared times x minus 2 equals x cubed minus 2x squared. So x cubed minus 2x squared. Change the sign. So you get 2x squared plus 0x. What times x is 2x squared? 2x. That gives me 2x squared minus 4x. Okay, so it's going to be plus 2x on top here. And that's going to give me 2x squared minus 4x. Change the sign. I get 4x. Bring down the next term. What times x is 4x? That's 4. So 4 times x minus 2 gives me 4x minus 8. So put a plus 4 here. And we get 4x minus 8. Change the sign. And we get 12. So plus 12 over x minus 2. Okay, so this is your answer. That problem. All right, so to recap this, we only use long division when you have like a binomial, x minus 2 divided into whatever. All right, and if I have a problem like this, x to the 5th minus 3x to the 4th plus 2x minus 8, and that's divided by a monomial, so divided by 2x squared, you don't do long division. Okay, what you do is each term gets divided by 2x squared. So that's x to the 5th over 2x squared minus 3x to the 4th over 2x squared plus 2x over 2x squared and minus 8 over 2x squared. Okay, and then you simplify each one of these. So that's going to be x cubed over 2 minus 3x squared over 2 plus 1 over x, because the 2's cancel, and then the bottom wins by 1, and minus 4 over x squared. And that's your answer. So you don't need long division for dividing by a monomial, only for a binomial. All right? That's it, math fans. Have a great day. Goodbye.